Alright guys, this is kind of not really an emergency video, but something that just came out about Honkai Star Rail, and I'm kind of a little unprepared for this, and we're going to go over it a little bit, but I didn't see that this was going to release, and I gotta give a big shout out to ZDB. I'll be posting a link in his channel in the description down below. I actually saw this from his channel, so big shout out to him. Again, you know, thank you for pointing it out. I kind of want to talk about this as well. This is kind of big news that Honkai Star Rail has just released a blog post on Bilibili. And if you don't know what Bilibili is, it is a Chinese website that really goes over like a whole bunch of stuff, but I don't know too much about Bilibili myself, but it did come out there. It wasn't translated, but somebody was able to actually translate this, and it is on the site that I'm on currently, which I use as you guys have seen for these Honkai Star Rail character discussions that I have been doing. And this is big. There's a couple changes to characters that I'm actually pretty shocked about, and we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So character changes. Keep in mind that the official images found in the post above are missing skill multipliers. This means that we can't tell if a character got nerfed or buffed in that regard, and we can only notice the changes of the mechanic side of the skill. So bear in mind that this is only mechanics based. It's not entirely meant as a multiplier. So we could see something a little bit different on the multiplier side, but we're gonna go ahead and talk about the kits. And Bronya is the first one, which is a character that we have talked about on the channel. So before, she used to have dispels a debuff from a single ally, advances forward their actions by 100%, and increases their damage by X% for 1 turn. Now, after this, it dispels a debuff from a single ally and advances forward their action by 100% and increases their damage by X% for 1 turn. If the skill is used on Bronya, it will not trigger the action, and it is advanced forward by 100% part. So that means that Bronya cannot use her debuff dispelling skill on herself, at least for the 100% action forward. So that means that you're not going to be able to use Bronya twice in a turn. You can only use her once. That's really it, which is not really kind of a nerf. It is a big nerf, because if Bronya is going to be used to help, you know, dispel debuffs and such, it really does suck to lose that. But at the same time, it's not too bad of a debuff, and Bronya is still going to be considered, in my personal opinion and in a lot of other content creators' opinions, a character to summon for. Or at least if you're summoning for Zella and Jingyuan when the game releases, then if you get Bronya, it's not a bad thing at all. She's still one of the best. Now, let's go ahead and talk about Welt here, because we haven't talked about Welt on the channel too much, and I really haven't looked too much into him, but it is important to cover this. Welt's skill, or Welt's ultimate, I think it is. No. Let's see. Welt's skill have the same wording, and the only thing that it seems to have changed is the major traces. Okay, so major trace increases Welt's ultimate damage by 25%, and then after using the ultimate, the targets affected by it will receive more damage for X turns. So basically, it's a little bit wonky with this, but I'm guessing what it means is that you're going to do a defense debuff to the enemy, and you're gonna give them more damage through those turns. The wording is a bit vague, but it seems Welt gained more utility, as now his ultimate will function as a damage amplifying buff for either himself or the whole team. Exactly how I'm looking at it, because that could make him a lot more worth, because I think if we look at Welt here, Welt, you can't see it on, or what you could actually see right here. So this right here, as you can see, they had a general ranking, and you would see me cover it up a little bit, but at the same time, they do have a general rankings. I think that this might bump up Welt to an S tier in general, and maybe bossing, or actually, you could probably see him go up to S plus on both of those. So that's really good. Now, Himeko is another character that we talked about on the channel, and I'm kind of curious as to what they did. I didn't finish ZDB, which, by the way, again, you can look at this right here. This is a channel. But yeah, Himiko's final kit was actually revealed in English, and there's actually a really important change here too that we missed before. Her major trace was adjusted. Basic attack has an 80% base chance to burn enemies for 3 turns. When inflicted with burn, enemies receive fire damage over time damage equal to 30% of Himiko's basic attack damage at the start of each turn. And then afterwards, Himiko's attacks have X percentage chance to inflict burn on enemies for X turns. When inflicted with burn, enemies receive fire DOT damage at the start of each turn. Himeko just became more versatile in the sense of being able to burn enemies regardless of if it's with her ultimate, her skill, or anything like that. So that's really, really good. Like, she has so much more much more of a chance to actually do it. So that's really, really cool. It's a huge change, as they said, and while previously the burn DOT could only be applied to the basic attack, now any attack will be able to do it. So that's really crucial right there. Other characters that they say, Clara and Gepard, release skills were also revealed, but we didn't see any mechanical changes. Light cone changes. We've talked about a couple of light cone changes. So Welt's light cone did get changed. The original increases the wearer's damage to debuffed enemies by 20%. When the wearer uses their skill, the effect hit rate for this attack increases by 20% and attack increased by 20. Afterwards, increases the wearer's damage to debuffed enemies by 24%. So we get a 4% buff to it. When the wearer uses their skill, the effect hit rate for the attack increased by 18% and the attack is increased by 24%. So we did take the attack, the effect hit rate down by 2%, but we did gain another 4% buff in attack. So that's pretty cool. I think that I would have preferred probably the hit rate a little bit, but hey, you know, it is what it is. Gepard's light cone did get a change. Increases the wearer's defense by 24% and the effect hit rate by 20%. Increases the chance for the wearer to be attacked by enemies. When the wearer is attacked, increases their defense by an additional 24% until the end of the wearer's turn. Now the change here, instead of it being 24 and 20, you're going to see a 24 and 24 increase. So his effect hit rate is going to be increased by another 4% if you get this light cone, which is really cool. And I believe that's the only change in this one. So you get an extra 4% in the effect hit rate. Maybe they noticed that the effect hit rate wasn't exactly up to snuff, but it is what it is. Nahida of the Milky Way, Himiko's light cone. For every enemy on the field, increases the wearer's attack by 8% up to 5 times. When the enemy is inflicted with weakness break, the wearer's damage increases by 24% for 1 turn. As you can see, the wearer's attack got increased by 9%, and we also went from 24 to 30% of the wearer's damage increase for 1 turn, which is really good. Yakuing light cone right here increases the wearer's crit damage by 32% when the wearer's basic attack or skill does not result in a crit hit. Increases the crit rate by 40% for 1 turn. The effect can only be triggered by one time for every 3 turns. It looks like that got decreased to 30%, and the crit rate got decreased by 4%. So that is a nerf, and that kind of sucks. So we're gonna go ahead and breeze through these for Clara. As you could see, increase the wearer's attack by 20%. That got increased by to 24. When the wearer defeats an enemy or is hit, immediately restores HP equal to 6%. That got increased to 8%. And at the same time, the wearer's damage increases by 20%. That got increased by 24%. Or to 24% until the end of the next turn, which is good. That's an overall increase in Clara's light cone, which is great. And then let's talk about Bronya right here. Increase the wearer's energy recharge rate by 8%. That gets increased to 10%. So that's really, really good right there. We may have taken a nerf to Bronya's kit, but it looks like her light cone actually got a buff, so that's cool. And then finally, Bailu's light cone right here. It doesn't look like too much was changed. Increased the wearer's max HP by 12%, got increased to 18%, which is a massive buff. I'm actually very, very happy about that. But we do see that when an ally launches an attack, a random attacked enemy takes additional damage equal to 50%. That actually got decreased to 36%. That's a 14% loss in Bailu's light cone. So some of these changes are very, very good. I would say that The biggest ones that I'm very, very happy about, at least just from what I could see, Welt and Himeko changes. The light cone changes are whatever to me. I'm not going to be summoning mainly for the 5-star light cones. If I get one, I get one. If I don't, I don't. I am very sad about Bronya's change, but unfortunately, as it is, we know that games do this in some way, shape, or form. And as much as I was super happy about Bronya before, this isn't like a big difference, but it does suck. It does suck to lose that. But again, want to give a big shout out to ZDB, my boy. We don't talk too much, but not really. Eddie, my bad, ZBD or ZDB. What the heck, man? I can't really get it right. But anyways, big shout out to him. I'm gonna link his video as well. He talks about it in a much shorter time than I do, in my personal opinion. So go and check him out. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it. Love you guys to death. And as always, we will catch you guys in the next Honkai Star Rail video. Please take care and be safe.